1 and 2. God's blessing in the home, a song of ascents of Solomon. Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. Unless the Lord guards the city, the guard keeps watch in vain. It is in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil, for he gives sleep to his beloved. Our second reading comes from 1 Timothy, chapter 6, verses 11 through 12, 17 through 19. The good fight of faith. But as for you, man of God, shun all this. Pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, endurance, gentleness. Fight the good fight of the faith. Take hold of the eternal life to which you were called, and for which you made the good confession in the presence of many witnesses. As for those who in the present age are rich, command them not to be haughty, or to set their hopes on the uncertainty of riches, but rather on God, who richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. They are to do good, to be rich in good works, generous and ready to share, thus storing up for themselves the treasure of a good foundation for the future, so that they may take hold of life that really is life. Our gospel reading comes from Matthew 7, 24 through 28. Hearers and doers. Everyone then who hears these words are mine and acts on them will be like a wise man who built his house on rock. The rain fell, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall, because it had been founded on rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not act on them will be like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell. And great was its fail. Now when Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were astounded at his teachings. This ends the reading for today.
Can I have the children? Are there any children that would like to come up today? Oh, excellent. I'll come sit with you then. Well, this morning, we heard a moment about building on rock and building on sand. So, do you know what a foundation is?
It keeps whatever is moved off on top of it sturdy so it doesn't just collapse.
So why would we build a house on rock instead of sand then? What happens with the sand, do you know?
If there's like a lot of rain, then all of that sand will be washed away.
Yeah, so we're talking about building blocks. What is another way we could think of a foundation? If we think about Jesus' parables, and this was his Sermon on the Mount today, but if we think about his parables, and he was teaching us not to build there, what else could it mean? What kind of foundations do we have in our life? What are the special firm things that hold us up? Our feet are good foundations. Yeah, that's a good answer. What else might hold us up? Anyone you can think of? Any place?
Family.
Family. And then our church is a good foundation. And when Christ spoke, he often talked about things that are practical, but he also wanted us to think beyond that and think about how things meant, what they might mean to us. And so building a firm foundation on love, who helps with that? Who's your biggest helper? Our family. And what do we call the church congregation? Our family. And so these are the two big foundations we learn from as Christian people. And so, in that vein, we're going to say a prayer. Do you want to pray? Okay, go ahead. Thank God for your firm foundations.
Well, I do thank God for my firm foundations and having all of you people here to share church services with. And I just enjoy being here because it's fun to see all the people who want to come to church every Sunday.
And you inspire us by coming on Sunday too, as youth within this church. So today I'm going to have you do me a big favor. I have these blocks. Would you help me pass one out to everybody in the congregation, and they need to hold on to them for a while.
Is that why we have those markers in the pen?
This morning, I was thinking about a house that is built in honor of the Lord. Are we finished building? That was the question I had on my mind this week as I prepared this sermon. This morning is a time for celebration. It is a time this congregation gets to get up and celebrate because the church mortgage is paid off. Let's clap. Through the efforts of this congregation and its fiscal responsibility, better? Okay, yeah. Sorry. Through the efforts of this congregation and its fiscal responsibility, we have built a church for the Lord, because all things built for the Lord are not built in vain. So we're going to celebrate this accomplishment, but wait, we've got to continue moving forward. What's next? And our psalmist reminds us, though, why we think about, what's next? They remind us that a house must be built, and it must be built with a faith that's lived within it. And so today, that's my question. Are we finished? I will tell you the building was finished in 1996, for those of you who don't know its history. And as a house of God, it committed itself to outreach in the community and education. That was the foundation of Summit Congregational. And as its congregation continued to build itself up, they wanted to move out of the more business-like district that they had become and into a residential area. And so we moved here for the purpose of local families being able to be served. It was with a vote of 79% to move the congregation. So, as people of God, the Christian body, it is now our responsibility to continue this work. We've paid off the mortgage, and now we have to think about what's next. As God's people, we want to listen to Christ's lessons through our scriptures. Christ, our brother and Lord in heaven, expects us to understand all these lessons in the Bible too, and in the spirit in which they were taught. And Paul, the apostle, he explains this so clearly to his friend Timothy in our New Testament reading today. He urges us to follow the good fight. And that made me go, well, what is the good fight? What is that good fight? What does it mean to us today? What does the good fight mean? What is Timothy? He calls Timothy a man of God. We are all people of God. It's the group of believers, the church universal, the Christian church. We are Timothy in this reading. So I ask again, what is this fight we're supposed to fight? our very own nature here. Back in Paul's day, it was probably also the nature of the Romans, but it's human nature that we're fighting today. So, we are to shun what is not righteous. We are to live in godliness, in faith, love. We are to endure pain and hardship. And we're to be gentle. We're not to hide our behavior, never under a bushel basket. We are to do this in the presence of others. Not only are we to put our hopes in God, who truly provides everything that is good, and not only are we to live this faith, we're supposed to be generous and do good works. Be ready to share. And that, brothers and sisters, is who we are as the United Church of Christ. We share. That is our foundation. It's what exists within this congregation. And when he talks about trusting the riches that God has provided us, if we work in vain and don't trust some of those riches to the world, then our pleasure will be short-lived. Yes, we sometimes fail. It's our human nature. We are fighting against it. Wanting things we don't really need, or that will only last a short time. That's us. But that's okay. That's okay because we always will work on fighting the good fight. The good fight of faith. And remember, it's not actually ourselves alone we're fighting for. It's being an example for others who watch us and learn from us. And it's not always just a financial share. It's the emotional support. It's hand-holding. It's caring for those in places that can't come and join us here. It's sometimes handing food to the hungry. It's sometimes helping somebody across the busy intersection or loading their groceries into a car. It's part of being this loving community, one which resides here today. I have spent a year watching this congregation. It's been actually over a year. And I have watched you people reach outside of your doors and help others in need. I have watched you feed the hungry and be there for the infirm. This was Paul's lesson to Timothy and to the community that he was speaking to. How to be a Christian and how to build a good foundation for the future. So I want to thank you. My family has been a party to your welcoming and loving acceptance within this community, and we thank you. Now recently I've started reading a book that has inspired me to look at some things in a different way. It's called How to Lead When You Don't Know Where You're Going. Leading in a Liminal Season. Those of you who know me know why I've read this book, and you know I'm preparing my life for a huge change, an exciting step forward. As Christian people, we know this happens in our lives in many ways. Our history as humans are packed with the experience of liminal seasons. It's a time which often results in changing the status quo. It's the time to experiment and take risks. It's a time to try new It's a time to learn from our failures and successes. A biblical example of liminal seasons is Moses in the desert, or Ruth and Naomi. The whole book of Ruth is a liminal season for Naomi and Ruth's travels after their husband died. And we as the Church Universal are living out our lives waiting and watching, hoping for the return of Christ to come soon, the second advent, the rapture, or the parousia. A pregnant couple, during their pregnancy, this is a liminal season for them as they wait and prepare for the coming of a child. Their time has ended as just the two of them, and a new start will begin. Those are liminal seasons. How about a church looking for a new pastor? Or a church that maybe paid off all their loan? You get my meaning. So a new liminal season in this church will change things for you as well. It's time to contemplate many things. It's time to create a new challenge for yourselves. How are we now going to move forward into our liminal season? What ideas might we have after paying off the mortgage? What's next? We're not done. We're not done yet. It might be something small that'll bring you a little satisfaction as you think about this. Could be something big and you'll need a lot of assistance. Maybe you'll join the church choir. Maybe you'll sing a solo for special music or play your instrument and share your gifts. Maybe you'll read a poem. Maybe you'll get together a cleanup crew and pick up trash along Catfish Creek. Maybe you want more banners in the church. Perhaps you want to put a few pillows on the cushions to ease the pain of those long-winded guest speaker pastors. So we handed out some wooden blocks, and I'm calling them building blocks of love. And you have markers. And so I want you to dream. In our reading from the Gospel of Matthew, and this reading was the last of Jesus's in Matthew from the Sermon on the Mount. He talks about foolishness and wisdom. Those that hear and do good works live a righteous life and are living the truth. They're living the truth. So today, think about how this church is going to continue its lifestyle of work that you have already shared. Remember, a liminal season is a time to dream. Something new, something different. What's your next step? Or what's your personal goal? After the meeting today, and we will have a meeting today after church, and then we're going to have a wonderful dinner together to celebrate the mortgage being paid off. So I'd like you to take your blocks with you into the thing, and we're going to make a firm foundation of some of our dreams. Because you know, with Christ, our house is not built in vain. Let this be for you as it is for me. Please join me in the sermon response hymn, My Hope is Built on Nothing Less.